Alright, what's up guys? Sorry, today's been hectic. So, I literally just got back from the gym. I got my protein shake, a couple healthy snacks. That way I don't starve or die right now while we're doing this. So let me get this phone out so I can see the comments and I can talk to you guys at the same time. Let's see. How did I do this last time? There it is. Okay. That's how I did it. Now I can see your guys' comments. Jerry says, yo, what's up, Jerry? What's late over there? Jerry, you're on the East Coast, right? Bray McIntosh. I can't wait for the Dakota to be running at its best. Yeah, we'll get into that today about the Dakota and running at its best, because that's what our goal is. But I swear that thing is like cursed. But we'll talk a lot about that tonight. Big D, is the rumor correct that Boosted Motorsports is adding a C8 to the channel? I would be down, honestly, but I'm not gonna lie, funds are kind of tight right now, but we can talk a bit more about that too tonight's live. Project ADD, hey buddy, what's up, man? Dr. Differential, what's up, man? How's it going? Speaking of differential, the Viper differential, I have a spare one that I need to rebuild too. Project ADD. Okay, let's see the R sleeve. Let's see the R sleeve. What does that mean? Dr. Differential and Speed Shot, welcome to the Boosted Lift. Dodge Boosted Lift. Life! Yes, I agree, man. This is it. So, I mean, I work 2 jobs. So, I had to work today, and then I had to finish the Dakota, and then also had to edit the video, post the video, and then still fit meals and go to the gym and all that stuff. So, this is my day. So I'm just getting back now, and then I haven't even had dinner yet. I just got a couple snacks here. So Arturo says, hey, I'm new to your channel, loving the Dakota. Thanks, man. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff on the go, and kind of some stuff I want to touch bases on tonight too. So as far as like projects and what you guys want to see, and you know how we should structure all this stuff, like I'm having fun doing it. It's not, I don't want to say it's not work. It is work in a way, because I mean I'm having to do all the stuff, but it doesn't feel like work. I actually enjoy doing it. So, oh man, I'm dying over here. Jerry says, yeah, Florida. Jerry, I have some questions about Florida and stuff too. So, I don't know. I have a big kind of plan for the channel, and I don't know, if I could get this thing to grow the way I want it to, I would like to have different like home bases and stuff, so I could actually like go to some of the events in Florida, because there's a lot of events in like Florida and Texas and stuff. It would be cool if I could get the channel to the point where I could somehow jump back and forth, like have a home base here and over there, and have some projects over there. Plus registration, all that stuff is better and easier in Florida, I feel like. So I don't know, if this thing blew up, I think that would be cool to have like, you know, 2 different locations where I could fly back and forth, or drive, you know, over there, or bring a project car over here, or bring a project car over there. I don't know, I just think that would be a cool idea ultimately. That's like the end goal, but I know there's like Florida 2K and Texas 2K and stuff, so I want to try and, make it to some of those this year as well. I don't know, I'm hoping 2020 is a good year for the channel and good year for us, and we can get more exposure. Josh, what's up, man? 19 Flyboy, what's up from Guelph, Ontario, Canada? What's going on, man? Long ways away. Let's see the sleeve. Oh, like the tattoo sleeve. It's freaking cold out here today, so I'm all like sweatered and sweatpants up over here. Edwin Ortiz, Paxton on the SRT10. Do you know the SRT10? The motor, the Viper motor that's in that particular truck. My buddy Jason, he actually has a 2006 Dodge Viper, the copper one that you guys may have caught on that video. We went for a little blast in it. He's got it Paxton and bone stock motor. I think he has like bolt-ons, maybe like headers or something like that, just like some small stuff and maybe a throttle body. But he, with his Paxton supercharged Viper, which is literally the exact same engine and transmission that's in that truck, he's making 690 wheel horsepower, which is nuts. So if we ever were to go crazy with that truck, which I don't think we will since it's the limited edition one, probably not gonna do too much, but if somehow, some way, a supercharger kit for that truck came up dirt cheap, I don't know, I would be pretty tempted. But that motor, stock, is capable of a ton of horsepower, which would be pretty funny. Yeah, just a side thought. Bruiser, welcome to Dakota Life, Jack Stand Life. I swear, man. Like, Dakotas, if you don't mess with them, they're super reliable. I swear they just keep going and they don't die. But you start tinkering with them and it's a whole nother ball game. It's like every time I look at that truck or touch it, something else happens with it. So, Bray, hey, have you ever thought about getting the Dakota Raptor repainted? If it actually gets to the point where it's going decent and everything else, like I don't have to mess with anything else, I would consider it. But right now there's just so much work on the Dakota to get it up to speed that paint or like cosmetics is kind of on the back burner right now. I want it to go fast before anything. But then yeah, if we can get it to do that, then I would be down. Arturo's got a 99 SLT. What should I do with it? I mean, you've seen what we've done to ours. The sky is the limit, really. I'll answer a few more questions, and I'll go on to talk to some stuff, and then I'll go back to the questions here, too. Rumblin' B. What's up, bro? You should Hemi swap it. Way more power. I have some Hemi swap parts for Dakota if you're interested. Yeah, hit me up. I would be interested for sure. I know a lot of guys, and you know, don't shoot me for saying that. A lot of guys really want to see the Magnum engine go fast. Which, you know, I'm on board with as well. Like, the only one thing I will say is that engine pretty much sucks from the factory. Like, if you think about how much horsepower that engine makes from the factory, 250 horsepower from almost a 6-liter engine, you guys. That is, like, just pathetic. My S2000 outside, out of a 2-liter, or 2.2 if you want to be really specific, makes pretty much the same horsepower as this truck, you know, out of a way smaller engine. So, I mean, this engine is pretty much almost three times the size of the engine in S2000, but they make the same horsepower. Yeah, I get it, the torque's probably different, but just, you know, just telling you that the motor sucks. So, the reason why it is the heads have terrible flow, stock on this thing, and the cam is, you know, a terrible cam as well. It's actually the same cam that's in the 318, the 5.2 liter. So, you have to switch the cam, you have to do something with the heads to get the thing to breathe. But the problem still is, no matter what you do with this engine, you can't do much with the exhaust ports. The exhaust ports are tiny on this thing. And the bolt pattern where the exhaust manifold goes, just for comparison, next time you guys, or you know, look online, next time you go to a car show, look at like a big block Chevy and look at the size of the runners that are coming off of that engine. So you'll look at the headers that come off and they're huge. They're like, I don't know, at least 2 inches, 2.5 inches sometimes is the runners that are just coming off each cylinder. And they have the bolt pattern to accept like a massive runner coming out of each cylinder. Whereas this, well, you guys, I don't have anything in front of me, but I used to have headers sitting here. The bolt pattern is like 1.5 inches away. So you're stuck trying to jam, you know, runner to get the exhaust gases out of a head from a big volume engine, and it's pinched into this tiny little opening. That's why guys will run like those Spin Tech headers with the plate to sit there and try to get a bigger bolt pattern just to be able to get the thing to breathe. But I mean, you're still bottlenecking and then coming back out again. So that's what you're up against, and that's part of the reason why it's kind of a, you know, crappy situation that the engine doesn't breathe that well. You can put heads on it, you can spend a ton of money to do it, but you're stuck within the limitations of the actual casting or configuration of those heads. So just something to consider. So what we are going to do is I'm going to do my best to make this engine fly, but say we did heads, say we do cam, and we boost the heck out of this thing. The stock bottom end is pretty strong from what I'm told from Flying Ryan, so we're banking on Flying Ryan's experience and knowledge, and we're gonna push this engine. So the plan is to push this engine pretty hard. If it pops, it pops. I'm really not too concerned at this point. I'm fully willing to do it, but I don't think we're gonna get there because he's pretty confident on what we can do with this stock engine. So we're gonna push the stock engine as far as we can with the limitations on the head and on the cam. My plan, and I've openly said this to Ryan, and I'll say it to you guys just so you know you can hear it coming from my mouth. I am fully willing to pop the head gasket on this truck just for fun, just to see what it does, and I don't know, just to kind of put it out there and we can all know what it does. So we're gonna put about 10 pounds through it right now. If we can push it to 12 pounds, maybe go a little bit further, that's kind of the plan. We'll see what this stock engine can do. Once the head gasket blows, if that does happen, or maybe it doesn't happen, but if that does happen, then when the heads have to come off, we'll try to find a better replacement or upgrade head. That's kind of my plan. I'm not gonna take the heads off, you know, without finding what the limitations are of them. I think it would be fun to do it that way, but with all that being said, if we put heads on it, we spend, you know, heads aren't cheap. So if we find even a used set of heads for $1,000 or $2,000, that's $2,000 more we sunk into this engine. You know, then a camshaft, let's just say for argument's sake, it's $500. You know, 1.7 roller rockers. There's another, you know, at least $500 to $1,000, depending on if we get them used or not. If you start adding up all these little expenses, and that's what I'm really good at. That's how honestly I can afford to play with this many toys, is because I honestly am not the guy that's gonna drop like $7,000 on a Pro Charger kit, and then, you know, $5,000 on a set of wheels, and then $3,000 on a set of wheels for SRT10. I can't do that. So I don't have that kind of money. I just don't do it. I wouldn't be able to afford it, honestly. So in order to do the build on this truck, we have to keep it budget conscious. And if over a course of time we spend $5,000 to $10,000 on that motor to make it go fast, it just doesn't add up to me. And at the same time, we're not even talking yet about the transmission to be able to hold all that power, because you guys know that stock transmission is not going to take it, or at least not for very long. So these are all the thoughts that go through my head. I'm very methodical on thinking about it. I know in all the videos we're just working on stuff, but in the background, behind the scenes, I'm trying to plan this stuff out and make sure we don't go over budget and then be stuck in a situation where we're halfway there and I got to go the rest of the way. So what I'm saying is I don't want to spend at least $5,000 on this engine, and then we still have to do a transmission for it, and then all of a sudden we're like $15,000 deep in this engine transmission, and we're only making $600 or $700 at the wheels. So it's my job to, you know, I listen to your feedback and I want to make it enjoyable, but at the end of the day, it is my job to make sure that we don't get too deep in some of these builds, go over budget, and then we don't have money to do the rest of the stuff. And at the same time, I want to, at the end of the day, have fun and make the truck go faster, car go faster, whatever it is. So now that you guys know the background story to that, I am gonna try to make this go as fast as possible, but I'm gonna be budget conscious on it. If a set of heads shows up, I know somebody on the forums, they actually tagged me, but at that point we had too many issues with the truck trying to get it running, but somebody tagged me on Facebook on a set of heads that would be good for a boosted application that were like $700. So if that post had popped up right now today, I would have jumped on it. But at the moment we didn't have a supercharger, the thing was still in shambles, it wasn't running properly. So yeah, I'll wait for a deal like that. If a deal like that pops up for heads again, that works, you know, $700, $1,000, and it's gonna make way more power. I just don't want to, like I said, spend $5,000 to $10,000 trying to make this motor go fast, and then we're only making $600 or $700 at the wheel. You go to the track, and a bone stock Hellcat blows your doors off. That's not fun for me. It's not fun for anybody. So I don't want to let that happen. So like I said, we'll try to make this go fast on a budget, but if we can get if a Hemi swap pops up, and not the 5.7, I've already done all that. If like a 6.4 shows up for dirt cheap, and it's kind of like a deal of lifetime type thing, or if I can get a Hellcat swap, we're gonna go for that. So the Hellcat swap can be pricey, and there's a lot of computer stuff to go into it, but if one popped up, which made sense financially, where we could take this drivetrain out, recoup some money, and then put it towards a Hellcat or a Hemi swap. That's the way we'll go. Also, this transmission can still bolt to the newer Gen 3 Hemi engines, so we could still use this transmission. I technically could just get the motor and we could stuff it in there. So all the diehard, V8 Magnum guys, like I said, it's still going to be there for as far as I know, but I'm just letting you guys know. If a motor pops up for cheap that would make way more power than this one and get us to our ultimate goal, I'll tell you as well, I want this truck to be 700 to 1,000 horsepower at the wheels. That's my goal. I don't want to just, 500 horsepower is going to be fun, but it's not going to turn heads at the track. 700 to 1,000 in this thing at the wheel would really, be something to talk about. And that's kind of what I want to do. I think it'll be good for the channel. It'll be fun for me, fun for you guys to watch. So that's where we got to get to, or that's where I want to get to, in whatever means necessary. So I know that doing that with this engine is possible. Don't get me wrong, it is possible. It's just gonna cost an arm and a leg to get there unless we can find good deals along the way for it. So yeah, I'll take some of your comments and see what you guys think. I'm sure you guys are chatting up a storm at this point at the same time. I don't know if I can get to every single comment, you guys, because there's like a million of them, but I'll definitely try to get to them. Rumlin B. Your comment will probably disappear because I saw you got your email here. Message me on either Facebook or Instagram, same thing, at Boosted Motorsports, and I can see what you got. Only 1.6 wants to see a 6.4. Oh, wants to see me boost a Ram 2500 6.4 Hemi wagon. I wouldn't mind boosting the 6.4 engine out of that Hemi wagon and putting it in this. The 2500 is a heavy truck too. Stillman, have you ever thought about the Cummins 4BT? You guys making big power on those diesels now. Yeah, as far as diesels go, I don't think I would diesel swap something, but I mean, it's possible and guys do it and there's something, I don't have anything against it. But I honestly think, going back to what I was saying at the beginning of this live chat, is my ultimate goal is to be, going to some of these bigger YouTube events. There's not too much stuff on the West Coast as far as YouTube events, but on the East Coast and Texas and stuff like that, there's all sorts of like call-out events and racing events, and all these YouTubers get together. And it's hard for me to take part in being over on this side. So my goal for 2020 would be, if the channel can blow up one way or another, I want to get a diesel truck that we could tow something with. If this thing is fast enough and competitive enough, which if I can get it to where I want it to be, like I just mentioned, if I can get it there quick enough, like if by this summer this thing is making the jam that we need it to make, it would be cool if we had a diesel truck, so a Ram 2500 with a Cummins in it or something like that, and get a trailer of some sort, and we could put the truck on the trailer and go to some of these YouTube events and start getting our name out there a little bit more, because I like working on this stuff and doing all this, but at the same time I want to have fun with it and go to the events and compete. And I know the YouTube events aren't too serious, but still would be fun, just kind of like grudge racing, talking smack on other YouTubers, like we're gonna whoop you, or we're gonna just destroy you the track, and then going there, and it would just be fun to be able to participate. That doesn't go on over here on the West Coast, and we need something that's competitive to do that with, because some of those YouTubers are getting pretty serious with their builds. Like you've seen Cletus McFarland's thing, not that this would get there, but like that Corvette that he has all the turbos sticking out of and all that stuff, Leroy or whatever he calls it, that thing is like 8-second car or something ridiculous now, right? It didn't start off there, but just giving you an example, right? So everybody knows that like monstrosity that he built, and if we could like Hellcat swap this thing and it's as fast as a Demon, or I don't know, just something, right? Because this thing is a lot lighter than a Hellcat, whether it's the Charger or the Challenger. If we can get that engine in there and get an auto behind it, as far as I know, all the other guys that have a Hellcat swap Dakota, they went with the 5-speed. 5-speed's got that cool factor too, or 6-speed, sorry, but it's it's not fast. It's not as fast as an automatic. You can't drag race and shift as fast as you possibly could with an automatic. So, not to mention like the launch and all that stuff. So, I would like to ultimately either make that kind of power, like Hellcat territory power, and like Hellcats can make 1,000 horsepower pretty easy with some injectors and a pulley, but make that kind of power and either make it with the Magnum engine, which is going to take a lot to get it there, or we get that engine and we toss it in there and go full send. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm not giving up on this engine, but at the same time, we got to be realistic on what our expectations are. And you know, if we're going for like street power, 500, 600 horsepower, we can get there. But to go for like YouTube call out power or like some of these events where people have some serious trucks, people that are, you know, don't even do social media will show up in like ridiculously vehicles. Like we'll get smoked if we go. So let's see what some other messages are. What is so BIC pimpin'? Hello from Florida. What's up? I think it means big pimpin', but what's going on, Ziggies? Push the bone stock 5.7 up to 700 wheel horsepower. Keep it tuned right and it'll be good. Yeah, I mean the Hemis are good too. The only thing is with the Hemis, stock Hemis, the pistons are the cast pistons. You'll break the ring land on it. If you probably put like good fuel in it, you could probably get it to your 700 wheel. I don't know what the heck mine was making. We never dynoed it, but I would guess my old truck had to be about 500 wheel if I was just guessing. So let's see. Let me just scroll through some of these comments. There's a lot of them. Just a Ram. Heads, cam, what else? Probably a turbo. So I mentioned this in sorry, I'm just laughing as I scroll through. Ziggy says, screw the Hemi swap, do the Hellcat swap. Please do it. There's actually one of our buddies that follows the channel. He DM'd me. We've been going back and forth. And I think he'll have an answer for me this weekend. But he apparently has a line on a Hellcat swap. Some guy's trying to get rid of one for a decent price. I'm really hoping that he can come through with it for the price that he said this guy wants. Because if we can, then it's gonna happen. Like I said, if I've already seen Hellcat swaps on eBay right now. Buy it now, like with shipping for 10 grand or best offer with the transmission and the wiring harness. So that's why I'm saying if we dump 3 to 5 grand in this engine, we're already halfway there to a Hellcat swap. Then you got to remember this engine and transmission. I know it's not worth an arm and a leg, but it's still worth something. Even if it's worth $1,000, that goes towards the $10,000 of Hellcat swap, and we start chipping away at that amount. So. Yeah, just keep that in mind. So I don't know, we'll see. Like I said, not ditching it yet. I don't have a Hellcat swap here, so don't worry if you're a Magnum fan. But that's the ultimate plan. Josh said, "Do you see the link I sent you about the bead rollers?" Yeah, I started watching it, but I've just been running around like a maniac. I want to check it out. Thanks for sending me that, by the way. Josh sent me like a thing for the bead roller, like to roll the bead on the edge of the intercooler piping. Some guy made his own tool, which is pretty cool. Jerry, I think it would be sick if you went to different tracks along the East Coast. I'm like 30 minutes away from Boosted Motorsports, now Palm Beach International. Yeah, I wanna do it. I wanna come out that way because I know, like, I mean, the YouTuber. Hopefully, I don't catch anybody watching this that's gonna hate me for saying this, but the YouTubers that are on the West Coast, most of them that I see, at least, and I could be wrong. Maybe you guys can mention some in the comments down below. But most of the YouTubers on the West Coast are more exotics, more car show, more mess around on the street type guys. Like, that's more of what I see out here. I don't see any like somebody building a drag car or like something to go to the track and like racing it and doing that type of thing. I just see a lot of like street racing stuff, which I don't. I mean, I'm a guy. I enjoy watching it. I respect it, but I'm just not willing to go out and do the whole street racing thing just because the consequences are so high. I mean, the big argument of, you know, you can endanger all those people, I get that. I'm not one of those guys that's, you know, always saying that. But just the consequences legally of going out, street racing, and putting it on the internet, and I don't know. I don't know. All these guys that are going out and putting all these street racing videos up, I watch them just as much as you guys, but I don't know how they get away with it. Like, you'll be pretty much, you can see their face or the guy's license plate, or they went out and raced in a car that's whatever, and you can see the car, and they're standing right next to it talking about them racing. Like, I don't know how long it is until some of these guys start getting nabbed. I hope, you know, hopefully they don't, but I'm just saying. Most of the guys that are out here on the West Coast, I feel like it's that kind of activity, whereas the Cletus McFarlane guys and stuff like that, they go to the track and they go and, you know, do all the racing stuff. But I just feel like there's more of that way. So it'd be fun to participate in that. So hopefully I can make that happen here in the future. Lil Hanger's in the building. What's up, man? Hemi driver, what's going on? Hellcat swap would cost money, maybe an R3 block. There's been guys that have done it and have made 9s. I don't know. I just think the Hellcat swap, at the same time too, like, just even guys with Hellcats, they seem to do well on YouTube. There seems to be a big following behind them. So I think just the fact that I can say it's a Hellcat swap Dakota, and that we can document the process and also go beat the crap out of it at the track and actually show what it can do. I mean, there's the guys that have Hellcat swap Dakotas, but you don't really see much footage of them. Nobody really knows too much about the build. You know, you might see like a 30-second or 1-minute walk-around video of the thing running, or him doing a quick burnout or whatever it is, but you don't see how the guy put it together. You don't see, you know, him going head-to-head with a bunch of different vehicles and, you know, oh, he had to do this or do that to make it work. There's nothing there, so I think it'd be fun to mess with. Bruiser said, listening to you and your price expectations, you better just buy the Hellcat motor. I'm about $16,000 into my Magnum base motor. Mind you, I live in Canada. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. So I'm responding to Bruiser's comment. There's nothing wrong with going that route. I'm just realistic, and I've built enough different projects to know where we're going to end up. So yeah, I just know based on our power goals to get that Magnum engine where we want it to, it's going to take a lot of money to get it there. And I think we're just going to be, the big kick in the nuts is the amount of money we're going to spend to get it to bone stock Hellcat power is going to be, you know, high. So if we get this thing to making 700 horsepower, which I know everybody would be like, oh my God, it's 700 horsepower Dakota. You're still making like stock horsepower by today's standards, right? So, you know, a Z06 or a ZR1 makes 650 stock. You put a pulley, some injectors, and E85 in any of those cars, and you're making 900, 1,000 horsepower, just ridiculous numbers, and we wouldn't be there anymore. So that's where I'm being realistic in this. Hellcat does sound super badass. Yeah, like I said, if I can make it work. The other thing too is, I don't know if you guys want to talk much about this, because it's almost another conversation for to get into, almost like another day. But if you're gonna put the Hellcat swap into a vehicle, the computer system to get it to run is a completely different story. Hold on 1 second. Hold that thought. So, if you're gonna Hellcat swap something, you can get the engine to run. First off, let's just say you got the motor and the transmission. If you want to put the motor in this truck, forget the transmission for a second. Just say we want to put this motor into the truck and bolt it up to our stock 46 R8, right? If we wanted to do that, we couldn't run it on any of the computer system that's in this truck. So understandably, you know, it's a lot different. This doesn't have stock supercharger, etc. So to get that to run, even if the guy gave you the harness with the computer attached to it, you know, from a junkyard, right? The computer's attached to it, the wiring harness is all there, boom. You get that Hellcat motor, you put it in, it still won't run. So those Hellcat motors and the newer Hemi stuff, in order to get it to run, you have to have all the different computer modules that talk to each other. So it gets insane. So you have to not only have the PCM, you also have to have the steering column, which has it has the immobilizer in it, like your key fob. Then you have to have the key fob. You also have to have the, you know, that big like Uconnect 8.4 dash. You have to have that, and you have to have a bunch of series of under dash modules. You also have to have the electronic gas pedal, and there's another thing too. But say you have all that, then you could get the engine to run. So you would be stuffing all these extra components and trying to fit that big 8.4 screen in the truck if you wanted a junkyard motor to run. So that's option A. Option B is to spend $3,000. I think it's like $2,000 and something. I'm pretty sure it's about $299, or you know, pretty much $3,000 to get a Mopar Performance. I think they call it Hell Crate PCM. Which what they've done is they've given you a wire harness and a computer to plug into the Hellcat motor to make it run in an old hot rod. So I don't know if they do tell you or they don't tell you, but that is just to run the motor. So you would spend whatever amount of money on the engine, and you would have to still buy the Hellcrate $3,000 PCM wire harness just to get it to run. So those are your two options. Either you take a crash car and you gut almost all the electronics out of it, and I think you have to have like the fuel pump and a bunch of other nonsense, but you gut all the junk out of the Hellcat and you stuff it into this, or you spend $3,000 on Hellcrate. But what they don't tell you, and I think this is why a lot of the guys that have Hellcat swapped Dakotas, is you need either all the guts out of a Hellcat to run the automatic transmission, or if you get the Hellcrate PCM, the $3,000 computer and wiring harness from Dodge, that does not control an 8-speed transmission. You're still SOL if you have that goal. So you could get a junkyard engine, get $3,000 Hellcrate PCM, but then you still can't run your 8-speed automatic transmission. So just keep that in mind, with all this, Hellcat stuff. So what I'm hoping to do is, if I could get a swap, I would probably run the motor, maybe sit on the transmission, or sell the transmission if I get a complete swap, until somebody comes out with the ability to run the 8-speed transmission automatic. I would like to run it, but unless you pretty much have a wrecked Hellcat that you're willing to gut everything out of, I don't think there's any way to run the 8-speed in an old vehicle like this, like I said, without gutting electronics out of a Hellcat. So it would be a fun process and project to do, but I've already researched kind of the fun stuff on it, but yeah, hopefully it didn't scare you guys too much on the Hellcat swap, but it would be fun. But that's going back to what I was saying. That's, I think, why a lot of the Dakotas that you see that have a Hellcat swap, or even other cars, they don't have the 8-speed automatic in it. But if we put the 8-speed automatic in this with the Hellcat engine, it would fly if we could get it all to run. What quarter mile time do you think you would get if you could get the 5.9 liter to over 700? It depends. Depends if we're talking 700 crank or 700 wheel. I think Project ADD's pretty close. I think we would be in the 10. It depends if we can get this thing to hook. It's pretty light in the back end too, so obviously it would take quite a bit of work to get this thing ready. But yeah, I think this would be cool to get this truck into the 9s somehow, some way. I think if we got the Hellcat swap, did a pulley change, injectors, I think we could break 9s. I mean, traction is always going to be an issue. I'm realistic in that, but I think we would have the power to weight ratio. Just stock this thing's about 3,800 pounds without even gutting anything. And I'm sure that Hellcat motor's lighter than this, boat anchor that's in here too. So, and we would do some weight reduction as well. So it would be fun. It would be pretty fast if we could do it, you guys. See what else you guys are saying. Just reading some of your comments. What's up, Danny? From Limby. Turbo 400. A lot of LX cars. Yeah, I've seen the conversion kits. I think it's ATI that sells a Turbo 400 with the adapter plate and a torque converter for the Hellcat swap. So it all depends what we get, honestly. Like, if I could get like a wrecked, like a completely wrecked Hellcat from like Copart or something, like something that's been like rolled or just like demolished, like there's no good body panels on it and the price stays cheap, it would be fun to just gut that whole thing and put it in here. Like, wouldn't that be cool having like the dash and everything from a Hellcat in here and put all electronics in it, and then Hellcat with the 8-speed, like that would be cool, I think. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Like I said, I don't have a Hellcat swap. I'm not actively looking for one, but if a deal comes along, I think it would make more sense than sinking a ton of money into this to get to our 700 to 1,000 horsepower goal. I think 700 is on the lower end. I want it to be like a 1,000 horsepower truck, right? So I haven't told you what the plans are for this. I don't know if you can see it in here. The Viper is here. But we have some stuff coming for that too. So if this is, you know, only a 500 or 600 wheel truck, it's gonna be pretty slow, is what I'm gonna say. So I don't know, like this thing, yeah, I'm hoping we can get this to the horsepower levels that we want it to. Let me see what you guys are saying. Stillman, he's all for Hellcat, but you're a Mopar guy. What about an LS 6-liter supercharged and a 4L80? Way less electrical. You're right. I think it would be fun, but I just wonder how much people would hate me if I did that. I'm gonna eat while we're talking. I think people would absolutely hate me if I put a GM engine in that Dakota. I don't know why, but I feel like people would get so mad if I did that. You guys gotta remember, I know I've seen comments like it before too, where they were saying like, you know, don't take the motor out of this, you know, it's an RT, it's rare. But I'll remind you guys again, this truck has like 170,000 miles on it, almost. And it has a salvage title. It's not a collector's edition, right? Anymore, at least. I'm not saying I'm gonna, you know, hack it up and part it out or go in a crash test derby with it, but as far as trying to be a collector item, it's not, it doesn't fit any of the criteria, right? Salvage title, high mileage. I don't know. I just don't see the collector aspects to it, so I just want to, you know, throw that back out there to remind people, like, that's why I'm having fun with it, because the truck isn't, you know, it's already got, you know, a bit of a tainted history or past. And I mean, the paint's not good. It looks like it's been repainted at some point or another, but it's, you know, it's not perfect. I like the truck, don't get me wrong, but just as far as like trying to keep it like all original, not this truck. So just stay realistic in that. Troubadour, good stuff, man. Like the content, keep it up. Thanks, brother. I'm keeping the content coming. One other thing I want to ask you is, oh my God, I'm starving. I haven't eaten since I don't even know what time, hours ago. So don't mind me if I'm snacking on these things. But I want to ask you guys as far as content goes. Do you guys enjoy seeing back to back Dakota stuff? Or do you want me to jump around a little bit more? I have a little bit of OCD, so when I get started on one thing, I kind of want to finish it. But it's not always realistic. Sometimes we're waiting on parts. Or maybe it might be more entertaining for you guys if we jump around a little bit. Whether it's the Viper or the truck, or maybe even that S2000 that a lot of you guys don't like. Let me know down below which way you guys prefer it. You guys want to see us like jump to a different project and put some of them on hold for like a little bit, or stick with one project, grind it out, and then once that's finished or that stage of that project is finished, then we move on. That's more the way I've been doing it, but I'm just wondering your guys' feedback, which way you want to see it. Because I want to do some stuff to the Ram, and you guys will lose your mind if you know what I'm about to do to the Viper. So, but there's just a lot going on, and I'm trying to like not overwhelm you guys with stuff for the different vehicles. So like I said, this is going to be making some pretty serious power soon. I would say we could take this as the race vehicle, but it's not set up for racing at all. I mean, yeah, it's lower, but I'm not talking about that. Like, a Viper in general is just not a drag racing car. It's a stick shift. Right there, it's going to be slower. It's really not set up for drag whatsoever. You could put the softest suspension in the world, and it's still not really set up for it. The only thing it would be cool for maybe is like half-mile events or something. Or roll racing. But, I mean, it's not going to have crazy, crazy power, but it'll be pretty much the most powerful thing that we have in the garage pretty soon. But I'm not going to say too much on that, but I will give you a little hint. And I might be able to tell you by this. Just remember what the name is of the channel. That's all I'm going to say. Also, this is almost a good merch plug. If you guys want stickers, I can cut them in almost any color. $5 shipped each. Let me know. Get a hold of me. Direct message me, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you want. Or email me, BoostedMotorsports 8888 @gmail.com. So BoostedMotorsports 88@gmail.com. Get yourself some Boosted Motorsports stickers. Support your boy. Also, you'll notice Jerry and Ben and 618 BKG, all members, you guys. Any support helps this channel grow. It helps me, honestly. So, not to get too sidetracked on you guys, but I want to do YouTube. I saw the question today pop up on one of the videos. I want to do YouTube full time. And I pretty much am doing YouTube full time, as you guys can probably tell by the amount of work that we're doing to the truck, at the pace we're doing it to the truck, the speed that parts are coming in that we're putting on the truck, and just how interactive I'm being with you guys. But with that being said, I don't only have, I'm not only doing YouTube. I also have a job too. So I am managing to juggle more than one thing at once, which is fine, not complaining. But I want to see this channel go to the point where I can make it full-time for 2020. So it's not, obviously I'm doing it full-time. A video every day is pretty, I think that's safe to say that's full-time. But it's not making full-time income as far as being able to just say, screw a job, let's just do YouTube. Not even close. So, yeah, I've said this before, I'm not the type to sit there and try to have a sob story, so you won't get that out of me, and I don't expect you guys to feel sorry for me when there's all these vehicles sitting here. So, just, get that out of the way, but at the same time, what I am saying is, for me to do YouTube full-time, keep the content coming, order the parts, and do the exciting stuff and fun stuff that we want to with this, you guys are all car guys or truck guys. You guys know how much parts cost. So in order for me to do it the same way we're doing it, at the level that we're doing it and the speed that we're doing it, I need your guys' support, honestly, because right now I am working full-time and doing YouTube full-time, and I barely have any time for anything else. So by the time I work on the vehicle, and you guys see how much physical work goes into it, and then edit the videos, which usually takes about an hour to 2 hours by the time it's all ready to go, and then post the video, and then still work my other job, and then still order all the parts for everything. It's like, I would much rather do this full time, but at the same time, I can't just yet. So any support that you guys have, if you guys can join, if you guys have the means to support in one way or another, you know, please do so. I would like to just do YouTube if I can for 2020. That's the goal, is to make it sustainable. I'm not talking like, you know, ball out of control, get rich, but just be able to afford to do what we're doing right now with YouTube would be cool. So if I could just focus on YouTube and not still have to work my other job, I think that would be pretty fun. But right now I'm kind of getting pulled in multiple directions. So I just don't want to get burned out, I guess is what I'm saying either. So by working, you know, multiple jobs and trying to get everything done and do all this stuff, you know, your support on the channel is, you know, I'm super thankful for where we've gotten. We just cracked 40K. But at the same time, you know, if you guys can help out, you know, I appreciate it. And whether it's the merch or the stickers or joining, any of that stuff. And then at the same time too, make sure you guys give the videos a thumbs up and share them. Whether you share them on Facebook or with your friends or buddies, you think they'll be, don't like spam it, I'm not asking that, but if you guys genuinely enjoy the video, you like the video, you thought it was a good video, or you thought it was a bad video, you know, give me the feedback if it was terrible. But if you did like it, share it, because the more we spread the word on this channel and get people coming to the channel, that's how we're going to grow. That's how we're going to be able to do the things we want to do. Like I said, I want to get a diesel truck. I want to go to some of the YouTube events. I'm willing to do it. I'm here. I'm ready. But I need your guys' support to make it all happen too. So if you guys can share the videos, like I said, don't spam. I'm not asking to spam, but if you guys are on Facebook, you know, you guys saw a good video on the Dakota, you guys want to share it with a group or share it with a friend or repost it, that sort of thing is going to take this thing to the next level. Because all we need now, like if you guys look at the videos, I think there's one, I don't even want to say it, but there's one guy that always gives the video a thumb down. And I think somebody made a comment on it. It was like, somebody made a comment that there's like one, every time there's a video, there's like one thumbs down. But I don't know who it is, but I swear it's just some sort of hater. But what I'm saying is, pretty much every video gets all positive feedback. So I don't think at this point it's that the content isn't, you know, decent. I think it's just that we need to spread the word on it. So help me out, spread the word. I'm still holding this chip. I swear I'm gonna eat it, but I just want to finish this last thought. So spread it. That way we can get the word out, and the channel can grow. I can go to East Coast events. We can maybe afford to just get a Hellcat swap for this thing if the channel generates that kind of money. It'd be cool. Go back to you guys in the comments. Def needs some S2000 content. You guys want to know something funny? Is that S2000? This is gonna make a bunch of Mopar guys sad. That S2000 has more potential in the engine than any of these vehicles here. Yeah, I said it. I don't care if it's a Viper car, that V8 Magnum with 5.9, or the newer Viper engine in that truck. The S2000 will make more power on the stock engine with boost than any of these vehicles. There's guys, and I'm one of those guys, you can make pretty much 1,000 horsepower on a stock engine with boost. Just think about that one for a minute. If you guys want to see it, it's a sad truth. That motor is fully forged from the factory, and they made that engine indestructible. The last one that I boosted, we made 607 wheel horsepower on pump gas, spraying meth. And that car weighs about 2,500 pounds. Let's do that math. That thing is insanely fast. But I'm just saying, whatever you guys want to watch, we'll focus on that. I'm just saying, that motor has more potential than any of these other ones. If we wanted to boost it, just if. But I know you guys don't like the S2000. Alright. Sorry, you guys got me fired up. Rumblin' B says, Keep going in the Dakota. Oh, R2 said Viper swap. R3 block, W9 heads, 750 to 1,000. Yeah, Jerry, you're probably right, but how much would that R3 block be with W9 heads? I think that's be an arm and a leg, would it not? Rumlin B, keep going in the Dakota. Dustin says jump around. Nozzle says keep the Dakota. I'm not getting rid of the Dakota. I'm just might do something with the engine eventually after we get tired of trying to make power with that one. Dakota, Dakota, step by step. Can I do some more how-to? Danny, what kind of how-to you want to see? Which vehicle and what kind? I'm open to that. Hemi Power says there's no such thing as too much content. True. I just don't know if we should get stuck on one vehicle for a certain period of time or jump around more. That's all. Stillman says, like the way you're doing it, following a project through, but if you have time or waiting for parts, you can jump to other projects. Finish Dakota, Jose said. Flyboy says, I like the how-to stuff, allowed me to work on my own vehicle with confidence. That's awesome, man. That really means a lot too when I can inspire people. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but if I can get you guys to be confident or be a little more eager to tackle something, whether it's you see me doing intercooler piping or whatever it is that I'm working on. If you guys watch the video and you guys say I can do that, let me do it. I think that's my job is done if I've done that. That's all I'm trying to get out of this thing. Where did I leave off? Viper's Dream, I got a Dakota RT. The big guy in the back, it cool too. Alright, so you like all vehicles, which is good. I think we got a pretty good fleet going here. Project. Exactly downtime, work on the others. Alright, that's kind of what we're doing right now. Also hate the MDS, you can't turn it off, what should I do? 2019 Ram 1500 single cab. So you got a classic. If you got a 2019 single cab, that means you have a 4th gen Ram Classic. The sky's the limit on those things. There's so much aftermarket stuff. I mean, you can pro charge it, turbocharge it, cam it, tune it. I mean, that's all you got to figure out what you want to do with the thing, but you got a lot of options for sure. 618. Doing some roll racing would be sweet. Yeah, if I can. I mean, I don't know. Some of those guys with the roll racing things, though, they have like stupid money and crazy cars. Like those guys have like 2,000 horsepower, which Viper could make, but I'm not saying this is gonna be 2,000 horsepower. Definitely not, but it's gonna be pretty fun for sure. I'm excited. I know you guys will be excited too, but it won't be like 2,000 horsepower. I'll tell you that. Ben says, mix it up between waiting for parts and throw in some videos of one of the other vehicles. I'm pretty good at like planning what we need to and getting the parts coming. So after building, a bunch of different vehicles, I'm pretty good at knowing we're gonna need this. I can make a video on that tomorrow. If I order this Amazon Prime, it'll be here, 2 days from now, and then I'll have that to work on. So, and that's stuff that goes on behind the scenes, right? So I guess you guys probably don't see too much of that, but I'll plan things so that we're not sitting here like ducks in water just waiting for something to show up. So yeah, I'm pretty good at planning what the parts we need and get them coming so that we always have something to do. But yeah, we can always mix it up too. I haven't ordered it, but I was thinking about ordering it tonight, was the grills for the SRT10 Ram, and what was the other thing I wanted to order? And do something with like the emblems and stuff like that. Oh, the headlights too. I wanted to order the headlights and the grills for the SRT10. So I'm keeping, just in case there's any SRT10, people on here, I'm keeping all the stuff stock, all the stock stuff for the SRT10. So everything that I'm doing the SRT10 is all gonna be reversible. After owning the truck since 2005, I just want to spice it up a little bit. I've stared at it in stock form for however many years that is, 15 years. So I just want to do some different stuff to it, but everything I'm doing is 100% reversible, and we're keeping the stock parts. So hopefully that clears that up. doesn't offend anybody that thinks I'm ruining an SRT10 that's a limited edition truck, because I've seen those comments. Jerry, throw a knuckle angle kit on the S2000. Let's see you get sideways. I'm actually doing an event next weekend. So we're going to take the S2000 to the track next weekend. That's my plan. And we'll go to the track, have some fun there. And it's a road course, so it's Buttonwillow if any of you guys are local. But we're going to go there, go have some fun. Because we've been in the garage too much. I want to go outside and have some fun. This thing should be hopefully ready to go to the drag strip next week. I got a couple other things. That's why I was running around a little bit late. So I got like this foam stuff so that we can put it in between the intercooler and the rad, just so those things don't bounce off each other. And then the other thing I got, which I hope and pray this is the right one. I don't know what the heck that is the belt for the truck. So this hopefully is the correct belt. Somebody actually gave me this part number for the belt, which is going around the AC but the correct length. So this is a shorter belt. So I'll find out tomorrow if this is the right belt. Also, you guys saw me take out that big plastic coolant overflow bottle. So we removed that, so I have to, I actually ordered just a cheap overflow from eBay. It was only like 15 or 20 bucks. But we ordered like a aluminum overflow can. So I have to wait till that comes in to be able to drive it. But I don't know, I might just drive it anyways. But just if we're gonna actually drive it around all over the place, or run it, then yeah, we need that overflow can. Otherwise it can be spitting coolant all in the engine bay. What else do you guys got? Leadfoot. He's putting a video on YouTube in 2020. Do it, man. Only way to get started is to get started. So I say go for it. Any power. 300 bucks for the pedal commander. Oh, you guys are talking about pedal commanders. Pedal commander, pedal commander. Just get a tune. You don't need a pedal commander. But I know I get in trouble for saying that all the time. Ben P. Hey John, I know it's off topic. I'm due for a diff fluid change and transfer case fluid change shortly after. I was wondering if you'd recommend I do it myself or find a shop to do it on my 2018. Ben, that's up to you. Honestly, it's not that hard. It's just whether you want to lay under the truck or jack the truck up or whatever. You can, if it's a stock ride height 2018, I'm guessing that you can just crawl underneath it, so you don't typically have to jack up a regular height truck. But it's not that hard, honestly. So I would say tackle it if you're willing and able. I would say go for it. It's not hard, but it's just laying under the truck that sometimes can suck. So yeah, I would say go for it. But if you don't feel like laying under the truck, then just pay somebody to do it. It's not hard though. 618 just got one of those badass hats. Thanks, brother. Like I said, thanks for the support. You're gonna laugh at me. I would wear the hats that you guys see available, but I have such a fat head that it doesn't fit. I had to go and buy like an XL hat and put the logo on it just to fit my fat head. So that's why you'll see Jonathan. I actually bought the hat for myself and ended up giving it to Jonathan, who everybody's making fun of on the last video. But I gave it to him because it doesn't fit my fat head. I would look like a little kid. So my head's like a watermelon. It's like impossible to find a hat that fits this fat head. Oh man, I'm trying to keep up to your comments, you guys. You guys are on it. Ben, yeah, 250 for the transfer case, 150 for the diff. You could honestly get that done way cheaper by just going to like a Jiffy Lube type thing, or Mr. Lube or whatever the heck they call it. But yeah, I think it would be cheaper doing it that way. But if not, you could do it yourself. Frankie says, do you miss your Ram Sport? That truck was awesome. I really liked that truck, but that truck served a purpose if you think about it. I ran out of, personally, my opinion, I ran out of things to do that truck. If you guys search how to take a headlight out, my video comes up. How to take the grill off, my video comes up. How to fix the squeaking door, how to fix the interior lights, why your turn signal doesn't work. Like, pretty much how to take your tailgate off. Search any of those videos and you guys will unfortunately have to look at my face. But I made all those videos and part of me got bored, honestly, because I felt like I did everything for the truck or with the truck. And the speed we got the truck to, we almost broke 11s, 12.1 on the quarter mile with a full-size, fully loaded sport truck. I was at the point where we either had to start turning it into a race truck, like start going down the path of no return, where we would have to start really turning it into a race truck to be, going faster. And I didn't want to do that to that truck. It was a heavy truck, it had every single option, heated seats, cooled seats, power this, power that. It had everything in it. So if it was like an Express, I wouldn't feel so bad. Or if it was like a two-door truck, then I would probably still have the truck, honestly, and try to make it fast like we're doing with this. But it just, I don't know, I didn't really use it at the time and it didn't make sense for me, and I wanted something new, fresh, and exciting for the channel. So that's when the Dakota popped up. It wasn't too expensive, and I figured it'd be a fun little truck. We could document a bunch of stuff the same way we did with the Ram for Dakota or Durango owners. So that's what we're doing right now. But right now we're super focused on going fast. I kind of want to get back to some of the how-to videos like some people were saying. Just small stuff and how to do this, how to do that. But we got a bunch of them out, but I want to do more. Enrique, big support of the channel. You guys always do great work, and thanks for awesome content. Thanks, brother. We're doing our best. We're learning as we go. I think you guys probably just, as time goes on, you can see the videos are getting a little bit better too, a little bit cleaner, a little more easy to watch, and we're trying to improve every day or every video. So hopefully that comes through. And I'm trying to balance, myself as well between working full time, working with YouTube, working on the vehicle, and editing. So I'm trying to just squeeze it in, and I'm trying to make the videos, edit the videos with a good enough quality that you guys enjoy it, but at the same time not spend like 6 hours editing. So just keep that in mind when you're watching the videos. So if something's a little bit off, just know that I'm juggling a bunch of different tasks all at once. See. Dormant Fly, is your Viper factory forged bottom? Unfortunately, no. But on that note, just remember what I said earlier, if you were watching, that the motor that's in that truck, the newer Viper motor, the one from 03 to 08, it's not forged either. And my friends with a Paxton supercharger made 690 wheel on the same kind of cast pistons that are in this Gen 2 Viper. So you can still make a lot of power. Maybe you can't make like 1200 wheel horsepower with these two, but you can still make a ton of jam on the stock piston. Still, man, I like how you rip on Jonathan. I laugh every time. I think that every time something goes wrong, you should blame Jonathan, even if it's not his fault. I think we're pretty much there. So I think it's like it's somehow become something in the channel that everybody kind of gets kicked out of. We should make a hashtag. We should start making. You guys should start making stickers, and I'll put hashtag damn it Jonathan or something. You guys tell me. You guys start getting live in the comments on what we should call it. Hashtag damn it Jonathan or whatever you guys think. Start putting in the comments every time you see it, and we'll start making it a thing. Just for fun, inside fun. But Jonathan's cool. He helps out. He does a bunch of editing. When you guys see like the sick edits and stuff, that's not me. I'm okay at it, but I'm not like he's got an extra skill set that I don't have as far as doing the cinematic stuff. And so Jonathan helps out on the channel, and the goal is if we can get this channel cranked up in 2020 where it's generating and doing better, that's Jonathan would like to be the editor of the channel, but it's just not there yet as far as trying to sustain 2 people. So right now it's mostly, you know, me doing all the editing, and then when Jonathan has free time, he's not at school or, you know, he's got a day off work, he comes by and we'll edit stuff and put stuff together. Jonathan's also the one that made those Dakota shirts down below, so show Jonathan some love too. Get those Dakota shirts. We're also gonna make some different stickers, and you guys can give me your feedback. So I don't know why I'm grabbing this one, but what we want to do is, you know, the Dakota shirt that you guys can probably see below on this video. We're gonna sell some different stickers. So we'll have that, you know, the outline of the Dakota. We're gonna start selling those, you guys. So it's gonna be cheap. We're not gonna try to get rich off it or anything, but we just want to get them out there. So we're thinking we'll probably do that Dakota outline. We might put like a Boosted Motorsports on it, and we'll also we can put your Instagram name on it underneath, so you guys can put it on your back window or whatever. So if you guys like that idea, let me know. We can also do a 4th gen Ram, an outline of one, and you guys can put your Instagram underneath it. You can put on the back of your trucks or whatnot. So let me know if you like that idea, and we'll get on it here soon. But yeah, we were tossing around that idea the other day. So we could cut out your Instagram name and put the outline of your truck, whatever it is, and we could get you guys hooked up. Let me catch up to you guys. Ben says, yeah, I'm probably going to tackle it myself the warmer months. Yeah, I wouldn't be doing it in the winter. You'll freeze, man. Don't do that. It's too cold up there. Oh yeah, that's right. So Ben says you need to update the intro cinematic one. Yeah, I agree. I've noticed that too. I'm kind of a little bit OCD like that too, because I see every time the intro comes, it's the backwards supercharger. So we'll definitely update that. I want to get Jonathan's help on that too, because his camera is pretty sick, so it'll look even more cinematic with his. So yeah, we'll get some cool stuff. He's got like a nice gimbal and all sorts of stuff, so we'll get some more cinematic stuff. But we were talking about that today, actually, is getting a better intro too, so we'll get it hooked up. Jerry, my dad has a 2016 Ram, and I sent him the video of you changing the brake pads. He's never done any work other than maintenance, and he did it himself. Oh, no way. That's awesome, man. I appreciate it. And like I said, again, I'm pumped that those videos can do that. That's exactly what they're intended to do. So, you know, share them with people that you think they'll help, or if somebody will be entertained, you know, it helps the channel, honestly, you guys. Like I said, like, the videos don't get hate, which, you know, I'm thankful for, and it tells me, I think, that I'm doing a decent job. But the videos, we need to share the videos more so that YouTube sees the videos being shared, more new people coming to the channel. I think that's what it's going to take in 2020 to get this thing to the next level. So let me talk about something quickly, because I started talking about it earlier, and if you guys are just stopping in. So what I want to do, you guys can call me crazy, but what I wanted to do was have this place kind of like a hub, like a YouTube hub. So obviously I set the garage up this way, and I kind of wanted to be like, if there's a YouTuber on the East Coast or something like that, like maybe in Pennsylvania, like Street Speed 717 or any of those guys, they could fly out here and stay here and make content and go to all the different stuff in LA or San Diego or Temecula, you know, all the different, you know, Southern California hot spots. And at the same time, I could go over, you know, back east in the summer months when all these events are going on and stuff, and participate in those. So I kind of wanted to be like a YouTube hub, and at the same time, if I could get the channel to the position or the status I wanted to, get some sort of place, rent it, whatever it takes, in like maybe Florida or Texas, and like I said, travel between both. So have some projects over the Florida or Texas house, and, you know, go to all those events and work on stuff there. You know, maybe this car needs to be over at the Florida event, or the car or truck that's over there needs to be at an event over in LA. And that would be like, I would take you guys along for the ride, vlog it, you know, take you guys on the adventure, whether it's a road trip or flying over there or flying over here, and just bring you guys with me with the camera. That's my, you know, dream goal of this whole thing. I think it would be fun. I think it would be exciting. Go to all these different events that we're missing out on, and it would enable us to be on both East and West Coast and make the best of both worlds. So that's my goal. If you guys know anybody who wants to somehow engage in that idea, let me know. But that's what I think would be cool. If I can make that happen, that's what I'd like to do. If I could rent out the rooms in this place, 4-bedroom, rent them all out, so that would be a little bit of weight off my shoulders as far as mortgage, and then be able to do something similarly, whether there's a bunch of YouTubers in Florida or Texas, and we could go in on one place or whatever. I think that would be ultimate. Get the Ram 2500 diesel, tow things to different events, tow this truck over to Florida or Texas, tow it back, whatever, tow something from Florida over to Texas, whatever, right? Like, you see what the Cletus McFarland guy's doing. It's kind of the same thing, right? He lives in Florida, he tows over to Texas or Houston for those drag racing events, goes over here, goes over there, tows around and goes to all these different events, has his own events. I think just being and participating in those events, I think that would be fun. I think it would be good for the channel. But we need to make this compete at some sort of level to at least get some sort of attention. If we, right now, the way this thing is, and I'm not saying it because of the status it's in, with this supercharger, with this engine, if it was running absolutely prime, it wouldn't do what we needed to do at the track. It's probably gonna be a 13-second truck, maybe 12s if we're absolutely lucky, and we still have to sink in a bunch of money and time into heads, cam, and then it'll just barely be competitive with modern muscle. So that's the goal, like I said, but you guys can do your part by sharing the videos so that we can get the channel boosted up, and then we can start putting some of these plans into action. But yeah, I'm done giving you guys my goal for 2020. That's my goal for 2020. I would like to see it happen. It would also be awesome to hit 100K. I've been cranking out the videos. I'm doing my part. I'm doing the best I can. You guys can help me by sharing the videos. Make sure you give them a thumbs up, and let's see what happens. Let me go back to you guys. Paint Gun Express, hello, hello. What's up, man? HH said, did you get rid of your Ram truck? We got this one behind us, but the 4th gen, the 2014, that's been gone for a while. That has been gone for a while. Project ADD. 19 Rams are in the mid-13s. Oh, before I forget, you know what I was thinking about today, you guys? If any of you guys are going to the different events that you guys know of, whether it's events in Texas or wherever you guys happen to be, if there's like a big YouTube call out event or some sort of crazy car event that you think we should document, message me. So this is something new that I was thinking about it when I was driving around today. If there's a big event and you guys are gonna go to it, let me know, and if possible, if you guys have the hookup, if I could fly out to wherever you guys are, I'll take the camera with me. We'll go to some of these different events. Maybe you guys have a cool car or a cool project we can document at the same time and go to some of these events. I don't know, maybe you guys have something that's competitive that we could actually compete with. Not that I have to drive it, but just go there. And like, I know Texas 2K is coming up. We just missed, I think, Florida 2K, or I can't remember, maybe vice versa. But either way, there's all those crazy events that are going on. I know Cletus and Cars in Houston is going on soon. So if you guys are in those areas, you might be going to them. Hit me up, get a hold of me somehow, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, email me, again, boostedmotorsports88@gmail.com. However you want to get a hold of me, but hit me up. And if you guys are down, I'll fly out to wherever you guys are. Hopefully I can jump in with you guys, whatever. And we'll film it, we'll go to some of these events, and we'll start getting our name out there too. So that was just an idea I had today, because I want to start really, pushing this thing 2020 and getting things going. So if there's anything going on like that, definitely hit me up. I'm going to keep reminding you guys too, just in case people didn't tune into today's live video, but I want to do that stuff. Rumblin' B, Houston is the place to be. But the only thing is, Houston gets so humid. They should just call it humid instead of Houston. In the summer over there, it's like insane. I was looking at like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess Houston has that track event that a lot of people go to. I can't remember is it Houston Motorsports Park? I don't know what it's called, but that's where Cletus McFarland from 1320 Videos, that's where he always has his events. So maybe Houston is. But if you guys are in that area and you guys are going to that Cletus in cars, or you guys have a car that you might even be competing there, hit me up. I would be down to roll with you guys if that's cool. Yeah, I've watched Incredible Hemi. He's got that truck rocking, but the rear end keeps grenading on him. But I think he's got it sorted out finally. I think he put some beefed up stuff in the rear end finally. But that's the thing too, right? So with Incredible Hemi, right? That was his daily for a while. I think his truck was his only vehicle. And you guys saw he did what I said, you know, I didn't want to do personally to my truck, which was take your truck, which is a reliable everyday truck, you know, your daily vehicle, and get so far down the path of turning it into a race vehicle that it ends up being a race vehicle, right? So I just didn't want to go down that path and turn something that was practical into something that was going to be a full race vehicle, but then it's like you're plagued with the weight of that truck. So 4-door truck, heavy truck, never intended to be a race vehicle, 2-piece drive shaft, long as hell. It's just, for me, and then to try to gut that, to try to put it on a diet, it didn't make sense. That's why I was like, okay, we made this truck go low 12s, which was my 4th gen Ram 1500 Hemi. It went low 12s. If we had taken it back on a colder day, it was a 90-degree day that we did a 12.1 second in the quarter mile. We almost beat a Corvette. If you guys haven't seen that video, check it out. It's pretty crazy. So that truck went 12.1 in the quarter mile, and if we had been that guy, if you correct for the DA, it was like 3,000 something DA that day. But if you correct for the DA, my truck was an 11-second truck. Or if we had gone back on a colder day, it would have ran in 11s. So what I'm saying is, I realized where we were going with the truck, and that's when I drew a line in the sand and said, okay, I don't want to turn this into a race vehicle, and we moved on. So now this can be a dedicated race vehicle. I'm not going to be upset by, making this into a race vehicle. It's already light. There's not much to take out of it. It's a pretty bare bones truck. And it's something we could turn into a race vehicle. Single cab, 2-door truck, sporty truck. But yeah, I feel for Incredible Hemi. He's doing an awesome job making the thing fast. But my point is that you can see what happens when you take a vehicle down that path. So he had to I think he got like a Camry or something like that as a daily vehicle. So just keep that in mind, you guys, when you're modding your vehicles. And yeah, that's why we got rid of the truck, because I wanted to do something like this where we could dedicate a race vehicle, right? Like, how long has this thing not been running for? If you did that to a daily, it would be absurd. So just my 2 cents. Modern Vapor, random question for you, brother, but what LEDs did you use on the Dakota tails? Also, did you change the relay? New to the channel and love and appreciate all the content. I think I have I definitely do have a video on that, but check out some of the older videos. All the LEDs that we have on the Dakota are JDM A-Star, so they make a good product. I'm hoping that I hear from them soon. I've been trying to reach out to Jose at JDM A-Star, if you're watching this, because I want to get the LEDs for the Ram that we have back there. Yeah, hopefully I hear back from them, but if not, I'm gonna end up grabbing some stuff because I want to clean up the Ram behind us too and get some LEDs in it. What do we got? Project ADD. Nope, engine and trans are void, all covered. Oh, yeah, he voided all this stuff. Incredible Hemi is doing it NA. That is professional. I agree. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know, what else do you guys want to talk about? I think it's probably getting late for a lot of you guys, but we'll stay on for another 10 minutes if you guys want. Hit me up with some questions. We'll freestyle right now. Jerry, what's up from Hawaii, man? What's going on? This is my dinner right now, these rice cakes. So, while you guys think of some questions for a second. So the belt will go on tomorrow. And And I think we should be in good shape. If this belt fits, I don't know if this fits, but if it fits, then we can test it out. Also, little fun fact, these were O2 sensors that I got for the Viper, Denso. I'm probably going to put them in the Dakota. It's the same ones. Believe it or not, a lot of this. The Viper is kind of like a parts bin car, so same O2 sensors that are on the Dakota are on the Viper. I mean, the Viper is a 2000, this is a 99, so same kind of generation of Mopar stuff. But I have those pretty much brand new sitting in the box. I don't know what the history is on that. We were getting some funny readings on the data logs with Ryan, so I'm going to replace those as well. See if we can get the tune just dialed in a little bit more. Oh, another thing. So, belt goes on. Let's say that the belt works, everything's good. And the intercooler, everything's good with that. So, if all goes well, we will, we might convert over to E85. So, ultimately we are going to go to E85, but if we have right now, I have enough fuel pump and I have enough injector with this amount of boost level and power level that we can run E85. So, also I've been talking with, oh, sorry, I'll getting sidetracked. I'm getting tired and getting a little bit hungry, but if all goes well, E85 will make as much power as we possibly can. Then we'll go back to the drawing board. This supercharger is pretty much going to tap out pretty soon, so I don't know how long that supercharger is going to be on there. I'm going to try to pick up a welder either this weekend or this week and start practicing. And what I was thinking is we do a budget turbo kit on this engine. So if the Hellcat swap doesn't come through in the immediate, right now, maybe even if it does, I still want to single turbo this. So with the intercooler setup we have right now, that's why I was talking in the intercooler video today that I don't want to get too fancy with the intercooler piping, because we're probably going to be ripping all of this supercharger kit out at some point because it's too small. If we put a bigger blower on it, it's only got a 7 rib belt, this skinny belt, and it's plagued with slipping issues. That was one of the things that we dealt with on the last truck. Same thing as this truck. It doesn't have a wide enough belt. You run all the tension in the world and things still slip. On the last truck, we had to put a special coating called carbonite coating. We sent the pulley out from ProCharger to a special place that literally machines it. I don't say machine it, but they take off all the anodization and they put like almost like a sandpaper finish on it, just so it grips the belt better. And it shreds the hell out of the belt. Belt life goes down, but it actually doesn't slip as much, at least. So you get belt dust all over the place, but that's the sacrifice you make so that you don't have belt slip. So that's why if we end up going with a bigger supercharger, I don't really want to keep playing with this kit. And also at the same time, it's kind of inefficient. Like I was mentioning before, you turn on your AC in a car and your power level goes down. It's the same with this big blower on there. It's like just robbing horsepower while adding horsepower. So it's almost a bit of, a bit of a balance. So if we put a turbo on there, on the other hand, it's considered wasted energy once it comes out the exhaust to spin the turbo. And we can put a bigger turbo on there, more boost, more efficient, and we can push the stock engine as far as possible. Then, if the head's let go, whether we crack a head, lift a head, blow a head gasket, then that's when we go back to drawing board, put some heads on it, a bigger cam, let it breathe, and shoot for our, 600 to 700 wheel horsepower. That's all if the Hellcat thing doesn't happen. All right, let's go back to you guys. Oh, I started to say, you guys didn't correct me. One of the, we might put a meth kit on that, and maybe this. Why would we put a meth kit on the Viper? But Devil's Own is a methanol company. They've reached out, I'm supposed to have a call with them this week on using one of their kits or maybe 2 of their kits on the channel. So If we spray methanol on the Dakota, we'll be able to squeeze more power out of it too. So hopefully that comes through. Might get a new sponsor on the channel and get a methanol kit for the Dakota, and maybe get a methanol kit for the Viper, and we'll make some more power. So we'll be able to make more power on the Punkcast. All right, let's get some questions and then let's get out of here because it's late for probably everybody. Jerry's got an O2 RT. What's up, man? Yeah, RTs are fun. Modern Vapor. Appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot. Your Dakota videos brought me here, and now subscribe to the channel. Keep doing your thing. Thanks, brother. Like I said, let's share some of these videos. Let's get more people on the channel, and if we can get those views up, it'll be a good time over here. Jason. Oh, hold on, I skipped one. Jason, I'll get to you in a second. Thomas. Oh, I skipped too many. Project ADD said he had 58 vehicles, lots of heavily modified dailies. Stock is so much more drivable. Modded on the other side. I've rode at least once a week. Yeah, I agree. That's why you gotta, I don't know, if you're gonna go this crazy with mods, or even not even this crazy, you kind of have to have a dedicated stock vehicle. Like, you guys probably don't even know, or probably don't even see it, but we have the Volkswagen Jetta, and I just drive that thing everywhere. Even though we have 5 vehicles right now, I end up just driving the Jetta all the time because there's so much going on with them. The Viper, I don't really like to leave unattended, just because you guys can probably understand that. This thing's like my baby. That's been on the hoist for who knows how long. That thing doesn't have a single scratch or dent on it, so I don't want to leave that anywhere. The S2000, the Honda, that thing's like one of the #1 stolen vehicles. You just take a knife and cut through the soft top and you're gone. So what the heck am I going to drive? I pretty much have to drive the Jetta, which is why I have it. Alright, Jason, back to you. What is next for the Viper? You have been slow with this content. Well, let me explain that one. If you guys go back to my first videos, they're hard to watch because I was still learning, maybe a little bit not natural in front of the camera, not that good at camera, not that good at editing, but the value in the content from the Viper stuff that I originally did, which is kind of where I picked up on this channel. This channel is from like 2008 I made this channel, but I really started making videos probably about 3 years ago with the Viper. I thought it would do well, but the videos, like the value in the information on those videos is really good. So if you're into Vipers, go check out my old videos. You'll have to overlook, it being a little bit harder to watch content just because, like I said, I wasn't that good at making the content, but the information's good. We completely rebuilt the Viper. So I don't know, a lot of you guys probably don't know that, but if you go back in my old videos, we completely rebuilt this Viper. Every single bushing we replaced with polyurethane. We replaced the suspension, we put tow hooks on the car, we lowered the car, we put different wheels on the car, we put a short throw shifter on the car, put a different transmission brace on the car, we put exhaust on the car. We pretty much did it all, so yeah, there's a lot of different stuff. But yeah, if you guys check that out, let me just grab this real quick. If you guys want to check that out, there's a lot of different stuff. So as far as Viper content, what you guys can expect to see coming, we have one of our channel sponsors, IPSCO. They are sending me some brackets for the big brake kit. So we're putting huge Brembo oversized brakes on this car. Like I mentioned in one of my other videos, if we're going to make this car go faster, we have to be able to slow down. And the brakes on the Gen 2 Viper are completely terrible stock. So we're going to end up putting those big brakes on, and those parts should be here next week. I just have to order a couple more parts as well. I need to get some steel braided lines, but I showed you guys I have the Brembo big brakes for this car. I just got to order steel lines and also some rotors as well is what I'm missing to complete this up. So a lot of Viper content is coming. I'm just trying to wrap this up. Once we get this, once we go to the track and we set some times, here's the plan. Sorry, back up. Once we get this to the track we pretty much max out this supercharger. We set some times with this. The plan is we'll park this a little bit. We'll just pause on that project. And while we look for heads or a Hellcat swap or a camshaft for that, we will switch gears to a couple different projects. So both the Viper and the SRT10. So we'll get some stuff done on those once we kind of set a certain goal with this truck and we wait for more parts. So once that thing's sorted out, then we'll move on to some other stuff. So we got big brake kit coming for this. I still haven't announced what I'm doing with this just yet, but huge power upgrade for the Viper. Again, just remind yourself of what the channel name is, and you guys can probably guess what we're going to do with that. And then the truck, we're going to do some visual mods. So we're going to put different headlights in. We're going to keep the originals, so don't worry. But we're going to put some black housing headlights, some LED lighting. We'll do something with the badges as far as making them match the rest of the truck, and we're going to lower it just ever so slightly. So not crazy low, but just to tighten up the fender gap and do that. Let me see what you guys have for comments. I was looking at my phone here, but it died at the same time. Maybe we'll go for a walk for a second, just for something exciting, and that way I can see what you guys are saying. Ben says, what's the best way to apply a Boosted Motorsports decal ones to a vehicle? So you have the transfer paper. Actually, I could probably show you with this. So I would clean it with whatever you have, something that's not oily or greasy. So maybe some Windex, and then just peel up the transfer paper. And I can't do this with one hand, but maybe I can, we'll see. When you lift up the transfer paper, it's gonna take the sticker with it, right? So when it peels it up, once you figure out where you've got it, usually what you can do is tape this down. Like say you have this big sticker, right? You can tape this down with maybe some painter's tape. So you got it in place, and then you can take your backing off and do half. So then do this, and then once you have it in place, right? So maybe tape this with painter's tape and lift up this side, place this down, and then once this side's down, take the painter's tape off, and then you can lay the other side. Hopefully that makes sense, but that's how I would do it. But it's definitely a fun thing. So on the Viper, any questions on the Viper? Let me just back up, make sure I got everybody's questions. Yeah, as far as the Dakota, it's sad that this motor isn't more efficient, but that's just kind of the way things were back then, as far as the time frame that it was built in. But these heads are just, like I was saying, the heads on them is just so squeezed in here. So they're stuck between, you can only put so much of a runner in between those bolt patterns. Doesn't matter what heads you buy, you're pretty much stuck with that. And then I just want to clarify too, some guys were asking about the battery and why I didn't relocate it. So it's not that it's hard to relocate, but you got to remember, if we're going to go to the track officials are super sticky on that. So I would like to relocate it and spend a little bit of time doing it and not rush it. So it's not that I don't want to relocate it. It's just that I don't want to rush relocating it, because it would be nice, like some people mentioned, to put it underneath the bed and put it in the back where it might be hidden, and have it so that, you know, you can't see it and it's underneath the truck and the bed's still normal. Or you could put it here, but I think it'd be better behind the wheels in the back. And I don't know if I want to put it there, because if we run no tailgate, I don't know if the track officials are going to lose their mind by just seeing a battery over there. Also, we would put an aluminum box, Project ADD, like you were kind of mentioning. We would put an aluminum box, and I'm thinking on this side, since the fuel tank's over there, underneath there, we would put an aluminum box here. But the problem is too, then I got to put a switch on the back of the vehicle, and it has to be labeled. So it's just a lot more to it. It's not like I can just literally take that battery, stick it here, bolt it, and strap it to the thing here, and just run a cable. You have to have the switch on the back, you have to have it in a box, secured, and do it all properly. So I would like to plan it out a little bit more instead of just rushing it. And then as far as this goes, I want to tighten up this a little bit. I don't want to like completely have a low rider that's not unusable, but I'm thinking 3 inches in the back should be decent. It'll take it down to about there. And then maybe 1.5 inches in the front. And I think that's about it. 1 inch or 1.5 inches. I don't want to push it too much and risk buckling a fender, and then I still have to order an antenna. A bunch of just small stuff with this thing, but this thing has just been chewing up so much time and energy and parts. So hopefully tomorrow you'll see the belt will come around this pulley, go straight across power steering, and then we can unbolt our AC. And yeah, that's pretty much the plan. So hopefully the belt fits tomorrow and we can do some testing. If the belt doesn't fit, I guess we can still use it. I don't know what the repercussions are of running the belt around the AC compressor without maybe having oil in it or having these ports open. So the AC compressor is still good, so I don't know if I want to smoke it just for running it for a day with the wrong belt. So that's mostly it. I still got to move this loop around there. But that's pretty much it, you guys. I think, unless there's any other questions. Paint Gun Express. The old farm truck has come a long ways. I know, this thing is... If people are just joining, you guys have to go and check out this truck when we first picked it up. This thing was hilarious looking. Like, it is, like Paint Gun said, this thing has come so far from where it originally was. Oh yeah, so I also, you guys probably saw the video on the polyurethane engine mounts that we got from Boosted Motorsports. Those things are sick. So I've been testing them for a few weeks and they've been working great. So if you guys are interested in those, definitely check them out. What else? You guys ready to wrap this one up? Still got a few things. Let me just put this up here. Maybe I could spin this around. I'm still learning how to work this, you guys, so bear with me. All right, so you guys, I think we'll wrap it up. I don't want to keep you guys up too late, and I still have to eat dinner. So, like I said, plan is tomorrow, hopefully if all goes well, we'll have this thing running. But like I mentioned earlier, big plans for 2020. Thanks for your support so far. If you guys have been along for the ride, I do really appreciate it. And I can't tell you guys how thankful I am for all your support, but let's push this thing to the next level. I'm committed. Obviously, you guys probably know me. I know we don't, maybe haven't met face to face, but you guys probably can get my vibe from the channel so far that I'm committed to this thing. I always deliver on my promises. I want to see this thing go to the next level for 2020. I would like to be able to travel to some of these different YouTube events if we can get this channel to that level. I'm willing to do it, able to do it. I've structured my lifestyle around it to be able to do it. So let's make it happen, you guys. Share the videos. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. I know it sounds cheesy. I know I keep reminding you guys, but all those things do make this channel. Even if, you think you're just, one guy that's not gonna make a difference. If everybody starts participating that way, we can make this thing happen. So we'll start going to different events, start representing some of these Mopar builds. We'll push the thing to the next level, blow some stuff up, have some fun. If, the channel is popping and cracking and, we push things to that level, it won't matter so much if we blow them up. Right now, we're so strapped for cash. If we end up blowing some of this stuff up, then we might be in bad shape and we might not be able to mess with the project for a while. But I want to have fun with it, blow some stuff up, be able to afford it, put it back together, do motor swaps. Maybe we can just go out and buy a Hellcat swap eventually once we pop this thing. Or maybe even if we have enough funds to sit there and go the distance with the Magnum, get bored with it, fully Hellcat swap it, and do both things. So right now it's kind of one or the other, but yeah, I'm just speaking my mind. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I hope everyone has a great weekend. You guys can see, hopefully I'll have a video for you guys tomorrow, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good night. Bye.